Happy 4th of July, everybody. What's going on, guys? Welcome back. I am Van. We are all the LFR family. Much love to you all. Much love to you all. Hopefully, y'all had a great 4th of July. You were able to celebrate it with your families. You enjoyed some fireworks. You enjoyed some American cuisine, preferably a glizzy or two. No diddy. And also, hopefully, you walked away unscathed, not being burned by the fire and the flames of the fireworks. Last night, around my way, around my neighborhood, my son and I, I got on the grill. I was able to grill a couple of things for my family. My wife didn't really feel like leaving the home, although we did take a nice walk through the neighborhood earlier in the day when she was up for it. And it was a beautiful day, actually. It was scheduled to rain, and it actually did rain for a small period, and it messed up one of my neighbors' cookouts that they were having. They had a huge cookout, a DJ and everything. It was loud. But then when it started raining, they had to take everything in the house. And I'm certain that the party still went on. They had a good time. But later on in the evening, my neighbor, a few houses down, a younger gentleman with a younger family, this brother, man, he had to have lit probably $5,000 worth of fireworks. And the fireworks were not like out of the trunk, when a family goes to the park and they set up a little picnic or whatever, and they take the fireworks out their trunks and they got the little boxes and they just set them up and they light them for the kids. No, 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 no. This right here was like a professional type of situation. And up until 11:30 p.m., everything was extremely loud and bright, and some of my neighbors did not appreciate it. They was hoping that he would hurry up, go in the house, and shut the hell up. I was one of those neighbors after a while, but I'm a kid at heart, and I enjoyed to see the fireworks right there from my daggone house. If you want to see it, you can go onto my Instagram at the real LFR Family at gmail.com, and you can see them for yourself. But that brother, man, he was lighting it up. OMG. Like crazy. At any event, what's going on, Internet God? Lisa Marie, Internet God? Really? Thanks for doing this between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. No problem, brother. Jameson Lewis, what's going on? Maria Esposito, what's going on? Please do me a favor, hit the like button. That would be absolutely phenomenal. And if you're feeling extra generous, go ahead and do me a favor and share this bad boy on any social media network that you choose to share this on. That will be absolutely phenomenal. Just want to let y'all know that this live stream is sponsored by Learning, and I'm about to read the script that goes with this. Big shout out to my LFR family entrepreneurs and business people. I want you to listen up because I have something special for you that will help your business to consistently grow and become more efficient. What I'm talking about is a social community micro-learning platform for training that's super easy to use. It's called Learning. Let me break this down. Learning's mobile app gives you the flexibility to train your workforce anytime, anywhere, and because it's peer-to-peer, you can let your people train each other. Learning is very affordable for any size company, whether you have 10 employees or 10,000. Learning's community micro-learning will improve your business. I use Learning for my business, and you should too. Transparency. I am just starting to use Learning for my business, and I'm just learning how to use Learning. So although that's in the script, it's not true yet because I have not incorporated anyway. Tell them that van.hall Senior sent you, and you'll get 15% off, plus a bonus package of micro lessons for free to jumpstart your training. Go to mylearning.com/LFR. That's mylearning.com/LFR, or click on the link in the descriptions below and take advantage of this exclusive offer. Don't forget to tell them that van.hall Senior sent you. I like doing sponsorships. I can do these sponsorships, Reed. Send me more sponsorships, people. Lord, God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. I pray that you gave God some prayers this morning. You blessed him for all of the goodness that he has blessed you with, waking you up this morning. That's a reason to give God some praise. Starting you on your way. Warm blood running warm through your veins this morning. The fact that your loved ones are still breathing, that's another one. You got a roof over your head, that's another reason to give God praise. You got water running through your pipes, that's a reason to run to give God some praise. Can you see? Can you see? Oh, that's another reason to praise God. Can you eat and taste food? Can you drink? Oh, that's another reason to praise God. Can you hear music? Can you hear when people speak? That's a reason to praise God. It's so many different reasons, man. I do realize that we have a lot to complain about. A lot of people who are in power right now don't know what the heck they're doing, and we want to just speak the truth about them. But there are far more things to give God praise for than there is for us to complain about. No, this is not no Bible study type of channel. This is LFR Family, and LFR Family is me, and I put God and family before anything. I don't care what it is. I'm crazy like David. You know, when in the Bible it says David was a man after God's own heart, but when you look at the sins of David, what he has done, this dude set up a man to get killed so that he can have his wife. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember Bathsheba? I don't even know what she looked like. Never even seen a picture, but I can imagine that she was absolutely gorgeous. But guess what? When it came to God and David's relationship, David said, you remember when he was dancing in the street and he was pulling off all his clothes and he was giving God praise? He was going crazy. And people was like, look at this fool. And he was like, man, I will bless the Lord at all times. His praises will continuously be in my mouth. My soul shall make her boast in the Lord, and the humble shall hear thereof and be glad. Oh, magnify the Lord with me, and let us exalt his holy name together. That's what happens when you realize the grace and mercy that comes from the Lord our God. Anyway, we're going to move forward. As you saw in the thumbnail, that was Piers Morgan. And he's having a conversation. God dang it, I forgot her daggone name that fast. My mind is going crazy. My mind's going crazy. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. Also, before we move forward, just want to say for all of the people who are thinking about starting a YouTube channel and you need a little help, reach out to me for some coaching. All right. Or you have a YouTube channel that's stuck and you don't know how to get to move forward, reach out to me for some coaching. All right. And if you don't want to be coached by anybody, that's cool too. YouTube is a university. Free 99. Go to thinkmedia.com. Think Media's YouTube channel. Go to Nick Nimmons' YouTube channel. Go to Roberto Blake YouTube channel. It's just so many different places that will show you videos on how to get started, how to start your channel, how to do the banners, how to do the thumbnails, how to do editing, all those other things, how to light up your room, how to mic up your space, all those things, man. But I'm gonna tell you this right now, don't be a gearhead. All right. Do not be a gearhead. Don't believe that you need a microphone and a fancy computer and a fancy camera and fancy lights and fancy sound systems and all that other stuff to start a YouTube channel. If anyone ever tells you that, they are lying. Only thing you need is your phone. We walk around with daggone $1,000 phones in our pockets, some of us $200 phones. But anyway, the phones are expensive and they come with cameras that work. And I was able to get to like 200,000 subscribers using the camera on my phone. No cap. If you don't believe me, go back and look at my car test videos that I used to be in my car and driving and doing videos. That was how I jump-started my channel. I was really into it, and it was a thing that worked for me. To and from work, I didn't have any extra time. So while I'm driving to work, I was recording myself, making content, and I did it consistently. All right. Make sure you do the same. But again, if you do want to be coached and you want me to help like collapse your timeline, do for you what for in a year what I had to do in 4 years, I can absolutely help you with that. At any event, let's go ahead and get it popping. Shout out to all my blues, Lisa, Ginger, Angel. What's going on, guys? Shout out to Twitch and YouTube. Those are the two places I am live at the moment. Let's go ahead and get it popping. All right, before we start, let's check out this video that came out from Trump. All right, somebody secretly recorded Trump talking about Kamala and talking about Biden. This is the nasty things that people do. You would think that somebody's in your circle and you would think that you can speak freely around them. And there's always a snake in the grass like this. Go ahead, say something else. Say something else. Oh, I can't wait to post this. Say something else, please. Oh, this is going to be good. I'm going to go viral. I'm going to go viral. And surely they did that. They posted that and they thought that it was going to ruin Trump. And it actually did not. Let's check this out so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Baby, 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 bubble. Okay, let's go.
Last week's CNN presidential debate could go down as one of the worst in history, mostly due to the shocking performance by President Joe Biden. But we have just heard from Donald Trump. He's been caught in a leaked video supplied to the Daily Beast where he revealed what he really thinks about Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
What did I do with the debate the other night?
Oh, amazing.
Kicked that old broken down pile of crap.
Yeah.
It's a bad guy. He just quit, you know. He's quitting the race.
Is that right?
Yep, I got him out of the race. And that means we have Kamala. I think she's going to be better. She's so bad. She's so pathetic.
It's so amazing.
It's just so bad. So
I just can't imagine.
But can you imagine that guy dealing with Putin and the president of China, who's a fierce person? He's a fierce man.
Right.
A very tough guy. And they see him, they probably, he can't. But they just announced he's probably quitting.
Good.
Very good.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Just keep knocking him out, right?
He didn't hold back, did he? Let's bring in journalist and commentator Brad Palumbo. Brad, great to be with you again.
Okay, so I didn't even pull this up so we can hear from Brad Colombo or any of those other people. I pulled that up so we can see the video. And Trump thought that he was talking to a fan. Trump thought that he was talking to somebody who was supporting him. So he was just speaking freely about what's going on. Did he lie in the video? No, he did not. That's kind of fearful, thinking about Biden going toe to toe with these fearless leaders, man. These guys want blood. And if they realize how weak and how much they can control or beat up on Joe Biden, even mentally, even in a verbal back and forth, it's over, man. The type of things that they would do. We already see all of the wars that are popping up all over the world. Now, a lot of people say this don't have anything to do with America. They was going to do what they wanted to do anyway. Well, guess what? These wars did not happen while Trump was in office, did it? I'm just saying. They didn't. People wasn't attacking our military when we was trying to get away from certain places and we leaving our people back there to die. We wasn't doing that when Trump was in office. It wasn't happening. So I don't care how much you try to compare records and all this other stuff. Listen, Joe Biden has done some good things for the people that he wanted. I mean, that voted for him. That's what you do. You vote for me, you scratch my back, I'm gonna give you some things. But has the world gotten better? Has the country gotten better under him? Hell no, it has not. It has not. They keep on talking about all these new jobs that are being created and whatnot, trying to make him look good. But let me ask you this, riddle me this, Batman. Why is his approval rating lower than any other president ever? Why is that? If he's such a great president. I don't want him to not be a good president. Anybody that's the president of the United States, as long as my family and I are here, and I hate to be selfish with it, but as long as my family and I are here, I want them to be a phenomenal president. And I want the country that we're from to be the safest, all right? And I want it to flourish. I want it to do well. I want it to thrive, not just merely survive, right? And that's not where it is right now. That's why Karine Jean-Pierre is looking like lunch meat. These reporters are eating her ass up when they have the opportunity to ask her questions because they know that she's not going to answer a thing. She's going to dance around the subjects, baby. And she's going to pivot when times get hard, and she's going to talk about the opponent. That's it. All right, so let's get into our next joint. I didn't have a problem with what Trump said at all. At all. What has Kamala done? If you're on here and you're like, man, whatever, brother, you're just saying what you got to say for your audience. Okay, then do me a favor. Tell me 2 things that Kamala has done for this country. I'll wait. Boom, 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 boom. What has Kamala done? What has Kamala done? I can tell you one thing she's done. She locked up a whole bunch of people for marijuana, all right? And guess what? Now marijuana is legal in D.C. There are marijuana dispensers everywhere in D.C. now, in Maryland, everywhere. So there are people in jail, in prison because of Kamala Harris. And while she's a vice president, they're legalizing marijuana everywhere. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. And then she lied to get the job too, when she's talking about the whole busing situation. And that wasn't even her story, but she brought it up and she tried to make it a moment because she's the black one. Now, people say that she's a DEI hire and all that other stuff. Listen, I'm not going to get into that. That right there is assumptions, is all that other stuff. I'm more on, let's talk about something that's substantive, something that we can actually prove, okay? All right, but what has she done as VP? What has she done? Okay, anyway, all right, so let's go ahead and jump into the real reason why we're here. And we're going to be quick because I got my people pulling up in a little bit. You know what I mean? We do the coaching thing. We make sure that people grow their YouTube channels. So I got coaching coming up in a minute. And I'm so thankful for it because my people are absolutely phenomenal. They're doing some dope things. As a matter of fact, one of my people just now hit 200,000 subscribers on their channel. And when I started working with them, they had 2 subscribers. Yes, sir. Let's go. And most people go from 0 to monetization when they work with me in less than 30 days. Come on, let's go. So if you don't know that already, you got to hit 1,000 subscribers and reach 4,000 watch hours in order to meet monetization on YouTube. And most people that work with me, they do that in 30 days. Okay? And that's not a stretch. It's not a stretch when you're working with somebody who's, my son JoJo just now hit 300,000 subscribers and he barely even do videos on his channel. But if you watch LFR JoJo, you would know that this brother is good at what he does, baby. Now, before we move forward, I just want to say thank you so much for the super chat. Boy, Mike, I don't know how to read your last name. My bad. And also, they legalized it to tax it, and we are still broke. Shout out to Douche Elias for that. I really appreciate that, and you make a lot of sense. All right, let's go and get it popping, guys.
Than you can imagine.
It's just not true.
Wait.
A panel of 4 media people who all have said that both these guys are too old and shouldn't run. Been talking about this stuff.
I haven't said
Hold on, settle down.
I've never said that.
Settle down.
Why would we
The
not
same
want a guy
number-
that's up in
all I'm
every
saying-
swing state in America? You're insane.
If
You
you are
don't know what you're talking about.
It's about to go down, baby. It's about to go down. Please do me a favor, like this live stream and share this live stream. We're about to have a good time. We already know that when these Piers Morgan panels pull up and they start going back and forth, we have a good time, all right? Please do me a favor and like this joint and share this joint. And to get it started, guys, anybody that's in the chat, yesterday was Independence Day. Our independence from the British when we whooped their ass, when we whooped their ass. So do me a favor and put an American flag inside the chat for me. Thank you very much. An American flag inside of the chat just to show your love for this country because we are still on point, baby.
President Biden is getting the Trump treatment and a brutal lesson in what happens when the full force of the media trains its crosshairs on your mistakes, your mishaps, and your misinformation. First, the president's aides blamed a cold for his disastrous performance in last week's debate. Now, the president himself blamed jet lag. The problem is that everyone knows the president returned from international travel a fortnight before the debate and spent almost a week at Camp David to prepare. There's no jet lag involved. Biden says it's not an excuse, just an explanation. But it's not, is it? It's a lie. And the many people who've defended him blindly for years, reasoning that nothing could be worse than another Trump presidency, now feel they're being taken for fools. Last night, the White House press secretary was forced to deny that the president has dementia.
Man, look at all them American flags. That's beautiful, bro.
I'm going to ask something delicate, and you may not like it. The president may not like to hear it if he's watching, but I think the American people need to get a yes or no answer on this. Does President Biden, at 81 years old, have Alzheimer's, any form of dementia, or degenerative illness that cause these sorts of lapses? And it's a yes or no question. And if you don't know, why don't you, as one of his senior staff members, know?
I have an answer for you. Are you ready for it?
Yes.
It's a no. And I hope you're asking the other guy the same exact question.
Now, will that turn out to be a lie as well? I fear it will. I think President Biden does have a form of early onset dementia, as many people in the medical world think he does. But the very fact the question has to be asked about the current President of the United States is quite extraordinary and frankly dangerous. Today, Biden's meeting with top Democrat lawmakers in an attempt to shore up his position. But the dominoes are beginning to fall fast. A group of House Democrats is calling for him to quit the race. Liberal-leaning media, including the New York Times, have opened the floodgates on commentary which demands he step aside. Even Nancy Pelosi is asking, well, tricky questions.
So we have all these things that he was masterful in helping to orchestrate, to write, and to pass. So he has a vision, he has knowledge, he has judgment, he has a strategic thinking and the rest. He has a bad night. Now, again, I think it's a legitimate question to say, is this an episode or is this a condition?
It's obviously a condition. And there's another reason why the Democrats are turning on him. He's losing. A new CNN poll shows that 75% of Americans think Democrats have a better shot at retaining the presidency without Joe Biden. They live in fear of a second Trump presidency, emboldened, as they see it, by king-like superimmunity just awarded by the Supreme Court. But an election cycle was supposed to be all about Trump, the felon, is really about Biden, the fallen. And honestly, dumping Joe Biden is the Democrats' best bet of competing with Trump in November. Well, I'm joined by Megyn Kelly, journalist and host of the Megyn Kelly Show on SiriusXM, YouTube, and of course as a podcast. Megyn, great to have you back on Uncensored. Can you quite believe the events of the last few days?
Now, before Megyn Kelly starts speaking, it's about to go down. Just want y'all to know it's really about to go off. It's really about to go off. I mean, not go off as far as me cutting it off, but it's about to go down. They're about to go back and forth with some great commentary. Let me know how y'all feel about Megyn Kelly. Thumbs up if you like her, like what she represents. Thumbs down if you do not. Because I get mixed reviews whenever I check out some Megyn Kelly. Same as Candace, same as Piers Morgan. You guys have been teaching me a lot, point me in the right direction to the content that will give me better information on these individuals. But let me know what y'all think, because just in case y'all haven't figured it out yet, when somebody is purely based and they're purely one-sided and there's really no, I don't know, they're not really coming off as objective to me. They're just coming off as a team player. I try not to check them out too much. But people who seem to be objective enough to shake the trees a little bit, to say things to make their base look at them like, well, you know what? I don't like you. I tend to, gravitate toward them. All right, let me know.
No, I have never seen anything like it in all my time covering politics or being in the news. And I said after that debate on Thursday night, he's done. His candidacy ended tonight.
You done,
and I stand by that. At this point, Piers, he's like the deer that got hit in a catastrophic road accident that has a few extra steps in him as he runs off to die on the side of the road. And I don't mean literally die in Biden's case, but his candidacy is dead. Whether he knows it or not, he's just doing those last final steps.
Yeah.
Bit by bit, the Democrats are turning on him. The congressional leaders, the donors, the governors, everyone's requiring reassurance. The dam is already breaking with some top Democrats coming out openly saying he's got to get out. Kamala Harris just passed him in the betting odds as the person most likely to be the Democratic nominee. You can feel the tide shifting, and it's irreversible.
And we're into uncharted territory here. I say we, you and I. We've not had in our adult time an American president who's been effectively toppled through an incapacity to fulfill the job. It is uncharted. We've never seen anything like it, as I say, in our lifetime. Give me a sort of guide to how you think the next 5 months play out. I mean, who are they going to go for? If Kamala Harris says it's got to be her, is there any mechanism for it not to be her?
I think they've really painted themselves into a corner, the Democrats, with their obsession over identity politics. They had to have a woman. They had to have a black woman. James Clyburn saved Joe Biden and gave him the presidency, or at least his candidacy last time around, by saying, I can get you South Carolina, but we need a black woman as your VP. And that's what Biden did.
That's so damn sad. And she's only a black woman by the old slave politics back in the day, meaning that, you know, the one drop of black blood means that you cannot leave property to anybody if they got one, you know, when the slave masters passed on and they wanted to leave their property or they want to gift their property to somebody in their families. And if somebody had one drop of black blood, they weren't considered white anymore. They were considered black. Well, that's the same thing with Kamala. And so on the Breakfast Club, Charlemagne the God told Joe Biden too. He said, look, the black community will only support you if you put a black woman on the ticket. And that's what he did. The South Carolina governor says, we'll only support you if you put a black woman on a ticket. This is the type of crap that I don't like because it's extremely disingenuous. You act like you like these individuals. You act like they are qualified for the job. This is why people always say DEI hire, DEI hire. That's exactly what it is. I'm only hiring you because your skin is a different tone. Make that make sense. We are managing an entire daggone country. An entire country. She is second in line to be the most powerful person in the world, but we only picked her because of the color of her skin. Somebody please make that make sense. That don't make sense to me. It does not make sense to me. And that pisses me off.
So he's stuck with her. And now for this party, which lives and dies by its identity politics, to try to step over said black female, good luck. They're talking now about creating some sort of a ticket that might have those same attributes, but in two different people. You know, maybe a Raphael Warnock, senator from Georgia, as the VP. He's black. With Gretchen Whitmer, a white woman, at the top of the ticket. So we can cobble together some identity politics that are super close to Kamala, but not exactly Kamala. Well, who's the Asian? Because she's half Asian too. This is how they operate. So they're stuck with it. I think, you know, the only thing that makes sense to me at this point is for them to have a discussion amongst themselves, the most senior party leaders, Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, Hakeem Jeffries, Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, and come up with a format that would allow maybe four of them to throw their hat into the ring because they don't want Kamala. No one wants Kamala. I mean, Clyburn wants her still, but he doesn't control this decision now. So, and I think the Democratic Party really wants to win.
Montel Jordan might want a little bit of some Kamala, but you ain't heard it from me. Is it Montel Jordan? Is it Montel Jordan or Montel Williams? Is it Montel Williams? I don't know. I don't know. Also, Megyn Kelly, y'all know me. I voted blue no matter who all my daggone life. My favorite politician ever was the very first politician caught in a hotel smoking crack. And if you can name their names, you get a special prize. The DC mayor is Montel Williams. Is a DC mayor. And he was the very first one caught in a hotel smoking crack. All right. And when Megyn Kelly told LeBron James to shut up and dribble, I was pissed with the rest of Black America. I'm like, did she just now say, shut up and dribble? Oh, no. Oh, hell no. We need to ride. Oh, no. We need to ride on Megyn Kelly, bro. I was pissed at Megyn Kelly. I didn't know what the hell that meant. Shut up and dribble. I'm like, is she telling that black man to not talk about politics because he black, because he's a black athlete? And y'all already know, go ahead and hate on me right now inside the comment section. Feel free to throw all the vitriol toward Van because I have been a liberal all my damn life. And whenever I see somebody talking about my favorite athlete, which is LeBron James, not with his politics, I can give a damn about his politics because I'm not like you all. Not you all, but I don't give a damn about his politics. I like how he played the game, and I like the fact that he and his baby mother became husband and wife, and they raised their children together, and they're doing a great job raising up their children while he builds up his career as one of the greatest players to ever step on the floor of the NBA. All right, that's it. But when she told him to shut up and dribble, I was like, let's get this white lady. She's racist. She's a racist white lady. Okay, let's go.
And they know that Trump will beat her. He will beat her, but he might not beat one of those others. So, her poll numbers are moving up against Trump. We just saw a poll today, but she's too unlikable, Piers. When she gets out on the campaign trail as the lead, she's going to get pummeled. And let's not forget, let's be honest, the United States has never had a female president. And the first one is not going to be Kamala Harris. So I think they'll probably come together to settle on, let's say, 3 or 4 top candidates. She'll be one of them. And they'll say, let our party make its decision over the next 4 weeks and going into the convention. And they'll do it the way they used to do it before 68. Decide at the convention who the nominee will be.
Who do you think would be the biggest threat to Trump?
Well, it's tough to say. They're eyeballing this Illinois governor, J.B. Pritzker, and I think he's a no. First of all, he's extremely obese. I'm sorry, but that doesn't play well in politics. And I'm just saying it like it is.
It's true.
As Chris Christie. Plus, he's extremely radical on the trans stuff. His whole family has been funding all this trans insanity and, the surgeries for the minors and all that. So I think he's not going to make it. I do think Gretchen Whitmer is very interesting because she's strong. She's not like Kamala. When you hear her talk, she sounds sensible. She's Midwestern. She's somewhat likable, not to Republicans, but we're talking about Dems and independents here. She was absolute COVID hawk, which is fine with Democrats. And she's a Michigan governor, which is a very important swing state, which Joe Biden's now losing, thanks to, among other things, the whole Israel debacle. So she's very interesting. But you'd have to pair her with the right person. I don't know. There are some more moderate candidates out there that they're throwing around, but all of them are white men. They just can't do it. It cannot be a white man in the Democratic Party, period. Raphael Warnock, as I mentioned, from Georgia, yes, he's a black man. He's been in politics for 2 minutes, and he's the guy who ran over his wife's foot when he was running for this post. And the ex-wife came out. He's got all sorts of baggage with his ex. I don't think they want that, ball of wax. Why bother, right? Like when you have so many other candidates. So I think the field is rather slim, but I guess if I had to put my money down on somebody, it would be, as they call her, Big Gretch.
I mean, one of the problems they've got is the vetting process is going to be naturally very truncated. Whoever they go for will suddenly be exposed to the massive glare of a media in full throttle assault mode with months to an election. And there aren't many human beings who could withstand that if they haven't previously been experienced with it, right? I mean, it's a really ferocious forensic examination.
Do y'all realize that if we would have lost the war, I might be on this YouTube channel sounding like Piers Morgan? Maybe, possibly. Oh, it was Laura Ingraham. My bad. Did I just now say a white woman looked like another white woman? Was that racist of me? Dang it, man. My bad. I thought it was Megyn Kelly. I don't even know what Laura Ingraham looked like. Now okay. She worked for Fox. Okay. I can't picture her face. I thought it was Megyn Kelly. My bad. And guess who was Mayor? Marion Barry. Huh? Shout out to everybody from Southeast DC, from DC period, back in the day, back in the 90s, when Mayor Marion Barry used to make sure that we had summer jobs, and we used to be with the summer youth program, and we went to 500 C Street to receive our small ass checks, but we were working, and we wasn't on the street selling crack. We was actually working. We were getting check stubs. Man, that mayor, listen, let me tell you something. And that's the thing. When you live in those cities where it's, okay, we're going to give you this, 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 give you this. We're going to keep on giving you, and let you do whatever you want to do and giving you. You get used to that, and you don't want to go and get it yourself, all right? And that right there is the detriment to the Black community. But we're going to talk about that later.
Yes, and all of Trump's foibles and most of Biden's have already been baked into the current cake. So that you're right. And I forgot to mention Gavin Newsom. Now, he's a far left progressive, and Bill Maher just came out in favor of him. But He's the most radical Democrat in America. Honestly, his politics may be left of the squads. He would be a hard no for most of those independents. And you can't win the presidency with your own party alone. You've got to persuade a certain amount of the independents to come your way. As soon as they tell independents what Gavin Newsom has done, I don't care how good his hairline is, they're going to say no. It's not another JFK. This guy is really, he's an AOC squad member kind. So I don't think he'll make it either. But yes, there will be a withering press examination by those on the right, but those on the left, Piers, and that's most of the media, will run cover for this person, whomever it is. As much as they're beating down on Joe Biden right now, that same press corps is going to raise this person up as the second coming, whoever it is, because it must be their savior from Trump. And that person will benefit greatly from that ubiquitous fawning coverage.
I mean, we're assuming Biden is going to be replaced. It's not happened yet. And of course, if he digs his heels in and says, I'm not going anywhere, then it may be they can't do it, under the rules of the Democratic Party. Where does Jill Biden sit in all this, Dr. Biden? Because I watched that debate from start to finish with a mounting sense of real bemusement why any spouse, a younger spouse in particular, would allow their older, beloved other half to be humiliated like that on a global stage. And she must have known that this was highly likely to happen, because from all the reports now coming out, as the media finally takes its blinkers off, this is not a one-off. This has been what he's been like quite regularly in the last few months and 2 years or so. What do you think of Jill Biden's role here and her responsibilities?
I think she's been exposed as a power-hungry aspirant herself to political power. She is on the cover of Vogue magazine right now.
Yeah.
Why? Because she wants to promote herself. She tweeted out a photo of herself sitting in the president's chair not long ago when he was preparing for the G7 meeting with his chair hanging over the back of his chair. She's not the damn president. Get out of the chair. No one wants you at the G7. No one elected you to lead us politically. And a couple of years ago, I did a bit that went viral on how she insists on being called Dr. Jill Biden everywhere. And all these left-wingers got upset with me. She is a doctor. She's got her PhD. She's in education, what have you. I don't make fun of that degree. My own father had that degree. But my father would never have insisted somebody call him Dr. Kelly. He went by professor, and that was a title he'd earned. Why does she insist on it? Because she's power hungry, because she has a small fractured ego that she needs built up. She needs the affirmation of strangers to give her an honorarium. That really means almost nothing. The only people who get to be called doctor legitimately, I understand, no disparaging of the degree, are medical doctors. If you can't say, yes, I will resuscitate him when he has a heart attack on a plane, stop using that label. When you get introduced at a book club or on The View, which is what she does, all right? And I do think it's tied to what we're seeing now, the big reveal about her. She's power hungry. She wants it. What did we see from her on debate night? We saw her take the stage and guide the president of the United States down the stairs like a mama would of a toddler, like you and I both did when our kids were babies. And then after the debate, that clip that was everywhere with her saying, "You did it. You answered all the questions." Again, speaking to her the way I speak to my dog when he sits on command.
It really was.
This is the leader of the free world. She knows how infirm he is. She wants a shadow presidency. And let me tie it to one other thing. The reports throughout this week that Hunter Biden,
I know, this is incredible that he's advising him,
is at the White House and attending all the meetings with the president.
As
what, our new shadow president? Right, exactly. Because Joe Biden can't do it. And so on deck is the drug-addled, corrupt felon son? Hard no. This whole family needs to be bounced out of this office. And I think even the Democrats are starting to realize it.
Do you know what's incredible?
You know what? Megyn Kelly destroyed Dr. Jill Biden. She destroyed her. I promise you, that was a phenomenal monologue, Megyn Kelly. If you think that that was a phenomenal monologue, please give me 100 inside the chat, because that right there, she killed her. We see videos all the time of such and such destroyed this person. Megyn Kelly literally choked the hell out of Jill Biden. Just now, verbally, she kicked her ass. She whooped her hindparts, bruh. Could you imagine if I'm sitting here and I'm doing a live stream and I just now finished and my wife is just in front of me? She comes downstairs and she stands in front of me and she said, "You did it. You did a great job on your live stream. You did a phenomenal job. Yay." Let me tell you something. I'm completely against putting my hands on a woman, but that might be the day that I say, you know what? Talking to me like a daggone kid. Megyn Kelly, you earned my respect, young lady, with that one. You killed it. All right, let's get into it. I'm sorry. If I'm going overboard, let me know. Pull me back. But that was phenomenal. That was phenomenal, bro.
Incredible, Megyn, is that since that debate, you know, the person we barely heard from or been talking about is the one person everyone assumed we'd be talking about 24/7, Donald Trump. And when you think about the trajectory here, a year ago, I was interviewing Ron DeSantis down at the Governor Mansion in Tallahassee in Florida, because he was the one flying high. He was the one who was the golden boy of the Republican Party. Trump was dead and buried. It was all over. And it was around that time, a little bit earlier, sort of February, March of last year, it was around that time that they started all the legal efforts to go after Trump. And from that moment, two things happened. Poor old Ron DeSantis got completely sidelined. And the Trump train, which was on the sidings, tipped up on its side, thinking that's it, suddenly got put back on the tracks and is now steaming ahead, almost inevitably back to the White House. I've never seen a reversal in fortunes quite like what's happened to Trump, or a bigger self-inflicted wound by an opposition party than the one they did to themselves by deciding that they couldn't beat him at the ballot box, so they were going to destroy him legally and try and put him in jail. It's been, I mean, as a lawyer yourself, it's been a spectacular act of self-harm, hasn't it?
All great points. The two huge acts of self-harm, the lawfare against Trump and the agreement to do this debate.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessary. They easily could have said, we don't debate convicted felons.
Right.
He didn't do the debates in the primaries, and we're not debating him. It would be beneath the office of the presidency to participate in any platforming of that man. And his entire base, and probably most independents, would have said, well, we expected it. They didn't have to do it. They actually thought he could get out there. Do you remember Joe Biden out there a couple months ago? Make my day, pal.
Yes.
He released a video challenging Trump to do this debate. Make my day. I hear you're free on Wednesdays, because he was in the midst of that New York trial when they had Wednesdays off. The brashness, you know, the attempt to be the new John Wayne out there, like, well, I'll see you at the corral, little sucker. You know, as long as it's between the hours of 11 and 4, which is the only hours that he works, according to the papers. So he gets out there and completely falls apart. Another self-inflicted wound after he, you know, it's like he had jumped off the building and somehow he managed to shoot himself on the way down. That's really what he did. And the lawfare against Trump has been a spectacular failure. My God, it's been amazing to watch Trump pull the inside straight.
For me to have grown up in Southeast DC, let me tell y'all something, bro. I was a huge fan of Clint Eastwood movies. I was a huge fan of Dukes of Hazzard, and I didn't even know that that the flag on the top of their car represented something racist. That's what was told to me. They said that the flag on top of the Dukes of Hazzard car represented something racist, and I was not supposed to like that flag or something like that. I didn't know. I didn't give a damn. I'm sure it represented something. But for me, why are you trying to get me to look at that as something racist? But what she's talking about right now, like the Clint Eastwood, the John Wayne, the walk 15 steps and then turn around and pow, pow, challenging each other to a duel. Those was the good old days, bro. That's what we need. It's like I think at the next debate, Trump should just take out a white glove and just walk over to Joe Biden and slap him with it and challenge him to a duel, a golf duel, not a fighting duel. They're too old for that. I was saying they should fight to the death, but nah, that's back in the day when Joe Biden challenged him to come behind the barn so that they can fight it out. Y'all remember that? They should have done it then, but now they just too old. It won't be fun. It won't be fun at all.
On it. Not only did the American people revolt when this tactic was unleashed for the first time in our history, they know who we are. They know we're not a banana republic, that we don't settle our political disputes like this.
Yeah.
So they revolted, and Trump's numbers went through the roof with Republicans. But bit by bit, they have shown they either don't care about the charges against him, like in the Stormy Daniels hush money documentation thing in New York, or they're over it. They care about January 6th, but they're over it. They've had an impeachment hearing on that. They've had the January 6th hearings on that. Their judgment has been settled already, pronounced already. We don't need a federal trial on it. So that one just died thanks to the U.S. Supreme Court. It's all but dead. It's limping, but it's dead. The Mar-a-Lago case will go forward unless Trump wins, and then he can just pull the DOJ off of it. He'll be the president. He gets to just say, stop. The New York case is over, but for sentencing, which it's not going to be severe. If there's a jail sentence, it will be suspended. Trump's not going to serve any time in jail. None at all. And the Atlanta case got stopped thanks to Fannie Willis hopping in the sack where their co-counsel getting out there playing the race card, saying we were all racist for pointing out what a conflict of interest this was. That's going up on appeal now. All proceedings have been stopped. He did it, Piers. He did it. And while Joe Biden is out there on a stump speech right now saying, when you get knocked down, you get back up. That's Trump's story. That's not Joe Biden's story. And again, the American people know it.
And it reminded me a bit of Mike Tyson's famous quote, everyone's got a plan till they get punched in the face. I think Biden and his team spent a week at Camp David meticulously planning answers to every question. But the one thing they forgot was it was past his bedtime and he was incapable of articulating any comprehensible response to almost anything. And Trump didn't even have to physically punch him in the face or metaphorically punch him in the face. He just had to stand there and throw him looks of bemusement. And at one stage, something I'd never seen, a look of almost concern for this elderly guy, just dying on stage.
So Trump, if you look back at his history, when his enemies hurt themselves, he actually has a good history of being quiet and just letting them twist in the wind. We saw him do it on the debate stage the other night with Joe Biden, and he continues to remain quiet. And to your point a minute ago, if you looked at Twitter the night of the debate, for the first time in history, after Donald Trump makes a public appearance, he was not trending on Twitter.
No.
It was all Joe Biden and the Democrat reaction. So he's being very disciplined right now, like the monkey, can't hear anything, can't see anything, can't say anything, just let it play out.
But it also shows me that if Trump does get re-elected, it seems increasingly likely, I suspect we will see a slightly revised version. I think he learned a lot in those 4 years. And the thing about Trump is he loves having, as you know better than anybody, he loves having, public dust-ups of people. It's part of his DNA. But he also likes to be popular. He likes to be liked. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if Trump President Mark II pivots into a slightly more unifying character. Because by then he would know that he had a chance again, which was taken from him, to potentially build a legacy.
It would surprise me. I don't think he's going to. I don't think he will.
Am I being woefully naive here, Megyn?
Because you know what's going to happen, Piers, if he wins, and I agree, it's looking more and more likely, even if the Democrats pull this rabbit out of the hat, he is going to be impeached almost immediately.
She said what the thumbnail says. Yay!
The lawfare will somehow try to continue. We've already we reported this first on our show, and now you're seeing the mainstream media come along to it. The lawfare will continue even post his victory, pre his swearing in. This Justice Department has plans to put him on trial if they can between November and January 20th, when he would be sworn in. They don't care. And so that just shows you how rabid they are for him. And then the press will unleash on him even more viciously than they did the last time around, because now he's got nothing left to lose. He can't run for re-election. So he's going to be fighting in another impeachment battle, more lawfare, and a press that really sees him as an existential threat. I'm worried about the assassins, frankly. I really am, because people are so incensed over him. And we had a dissent in a Supreme Court decision yesterday saying that presidents do have immunity for most of their official acts, literally calling him treasonous, calling him a traitor. That's how hot the oven is around Trump right now. So I don't think he will be more uniting, because I think he's going to be angry again. And he's a fighter, and they're going to be, throwing the blows at him like never before.
Well, of course he's going to be angry, but he's not going to be angry because he's an angry person. He's going to be angry because he's like, look, listen, guys, the last 4 years was a disaster. We need to fix some things, but y'all aren't allowing it to happen. Y'all voting against everything that I'm putting out there. You won't allow me to do my job. I just want to do my daggone job. Can I do my job, please? Because there clearly was not an adult in the room for the last 4 years. Now an adult is here. We're ready to get to brass tacks. We want to take care of this country, put us back to where we're supposed to be. We want the world stage to know that we are back, baby. That's how he's going to approach it. And he's going to be pissed that so many people will be like, no, we hate that he won. We need to shut him down. We need to lock him up. How come our plan didn't work? What happened? Who do we blame for this? Rather than celebrating the fact that mom and dad are home and things are going to get cleaned up. Like all of this mess on the floor is about to be picked up. The house is about to start smelling like food again, like baked goods again. The kids can finally go outside and just play. Just go play while we take care of this house. Just go play. Go enjoy yourself. It's going to be less crime on the street. It's going to be less wars in the world. It's going to be so much. I will be pissed off too. And of course, they're going to say he's dividing the country again. No, what's dividing the country is you telling me that I can't assume that a woman should be called she and her. How can you assume their pronouns? That's called division right there. You understand what I'm saying? So of course he's going to be upset, but he's not going to be upset because he's just a mean and angry person. He's going to be upset because they're going to try to stop him at every step of the way. That's it. He's going to be in his second year and probably not even be able to get anything done because they're going to vote against every single thing that he wants to do just so they can say that he had a failed presidency. This is like cutting off your nose to spite your face. Y'all remember that saying, right? That's exactly what's going to happen. And they're going to try to arrest him, and they're going to try to do this, and they're going to talk bad about him, and they're not going to support him. It's like, who are y'all for? Are y'all for the country, or are y'all just for your own representative? You're mad that Biden got kicked out. You want him back, and now that he's not here, you're not going to support the president? Is that what that is? This is what makes me leap off of the politics train sometimes, because people are so fake, man. They're so one-track minded. If their person is not winning, they don't even want the country to win. They like, man, this country can burn. All I care. I don't even care. I'm going to wait to 2028 where I can vote, because apparently he can't run again in 2028. So I'm just going to, this 4 years, let's give him hell, guys. Let's give him hell. It's crazy, bro.
In his book, The Art of the Deal, he says if someone hits you, you got to hit them 10 times back. So if your prognosis for what's going to happen to him is correct, then it could all get very ugly very quickly. Megan, we've run out of time. I could always talk to you for longer. Thank you so much for joining me. Your podcast continues to be one of the biggest in America. I love it, and I can't wait to be back on it. So thanks for coming on Uncensored.
Oh, anytime. Thank you.
Hey, Megyn Kelly, you kicked ass. Thank you so much. You rocked this joint. You kicked some serious ass, man. And I hope that when I cut this up and I post your monologue by itself, that it goes crazy on my channel, because you kicked some butt. And I hope you guys liked it as well. I hope you guys enjoyed that.
Well, joining me now to discuss all this is the co-host of The Verdict with Ted Cruz, Ben Ferguson, Dave Rubin, creator of The Rubin Report, and Liberal Talk Radio host, the former Democratic Congressman Anthony Weiner. Well, welcome to all of you. A stellar panel indeed. Let me start with...
Hey, Anthony Weiner, ain't that the guy who was sending his ding-a-ling? He was sending pictures of his ding-a-ling. Like when he was in office, he started like an OnlyFans or something like that, and he was still measuring. Remember when we was kids, and this is just to all the boys, I mean, to all the men out there who was, trying to impress the girls back in the day. Remember when we were kids and we first started to get a little bit of hair down there, and we used to go to, you know what, this is not an appropriate, never mind.
With you, Ben Ferguson, how happy are you right now about the way the Democrats appear to be self-imploding on a biblical scale?
Not at all. I was watching the debate and I was yelling at the TV 3 minutes in, please get better, Joe Biden. I've never rooted for him more in my entire life because I knew this is what was going to happen and they were going to probably try to replace him if he didn't get the ship back going the right direction very quickly. This was a disaster. It wasn't even a debate about who won or lost the debate afterwards. It was, this is a senile old man that clearly is incapable of doing this job. And everybody in the world saw it, including our adversaries. But I wanted him to do better than this. I just wanted Trump to have a victory that night. I didn't want it to be this. And now you've got this civil war going on. But look, I wanted Joe Biden to be the candidate because that's who the American people voted for. I wanted them to have a big, grand debate. And unfortunately, he's incapacitated. And so now you've got all this happening, but we don't even know who we're running against right now. And that's not good if you're a Republican.
Anthony Weiner, well, first of all, what were your thoughts watching that debate? Your honest thoughts?
It was bad for Joe Biden.
Terminally bad in terms of his political career?
I don't think he's going to die from it, but...
No, I mean, in terms of his career.
Look, I mean, it was definitely not good. I mean, you got two old guys in this race that are both banged up pretty badly, but we've seen this race before. The American people have voted in this exact race before, but before a lot of bad things happened to Donald Trump. It's not good, man. It ain't good. But this is the race.
But you're suggesting that Biden carries on.
I don't really look. It's all conjecture. It's really hard to convince. Joe Biden has to decide he doesn't want to do it. Presidents generally don't decide. Who are within 1 or 2 points generally don't decide they're not going to do it. I don't see it. I'd probably say 95% it's Biden, or 5% it's Harris. But this is probably the race.
Really? I mean, I find that extraordinary. I mean, there is precedent.
It's not.
You've had
It's
two.
not, though.
You've had two Democrat presidents, incumbents, since World War II, Johnson and Truman, both of whom, after conversations with the party grandees, have decided to step down. Those conversations, Anthony, must be happening, surely, with Biden.
Conversations, sure, but it comes down to the one person. This guy is our nominee.
He does look like Pauly Shore a little bit. Anthony Dingaling looks like Pauly Shore a little bit. They probably related. Yeah, I called him Anthony Dingaling. Who gonna check me? That's his daggone name. His name is Anthony Dingaling. And as Kamala says, what has been unburdened cannot be unchained. What did she say? It was brilliant. God dang it. She said it like 50 times and I still can't remember it. And I asked you guys, what has Kamala done for the country? She made up that saying right there. What has not been burdened cannot be undone. Somebody let me know exactly what it says. What has been unburdened, what has been done cannot be unburdened. God dang it. Who has been unburdened can be unburdened by what has been. Okay. What has been unburdened by what has been cannot be unchained by what undone and unburdened. Okay? Been undone, done burdened, unburdened. I sound like Ron Dan Burgundy on this bad boy.
At this point, all but I mean, look, he'd have to decide. Like those two guys had to decide. It was much earlier in those cases, and both of those guys were in danger of losing primaries. It almost doesn't really matter what we speculate. It's most likely going to be Biden and Trump. We can engage in the parlor game of who might fill in if Donald Trump can't continue. You know, about the same number of people don't want Donald Trump to continue as don't want Joe Biden to continue. These are two deeply unpopular old dudes who both make more gaffes than you can imagine.
That's not true. That's not true. There's a whole nation of individuals who want Trump to win. Sorry. 75% of the people that are voting for Trump, 75% of who said the people who say that they are voting for Joe Biden say that they are voting against Trump. 25% are voting for Joe Biden. But when it comes to Trump, it's the flip side. The people who support Trump, 75% of those people are voting for Trump, and 25% of those people are voting against Joe Biden. So whenever they try to do this whole, well, it's the same way on the other side, it's lies, bro. And thank you to Joe Biden's touchy hands. That's not a real thing. That's somebody's name. Don't think that I'm saying shout out to Joe Biden's touchy hands when he go and fill up on people, because y'all saw him when he went to one of his events where he saw a black man and he was like, ooh, black skin. Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah. What is that black juicy? Ooh, look like walnut skin. Ooh, is that an oak tree? Looks delicious. Yeah, look like chocolate. Look like chocolate. Oh, yeah. Let me rub on that skin. Yeah. I'm sorry for being so cringy. And if you got on headphones, I double apologize. All right. But as Kamala always says, what has been cannot be unburdened by what has done.
But this is the race, and the last time Biden kicked his ass, I anticipated it would be the same.
First off,
all right, Dave Rubin.
Anthony,
go ahead, Dave.
With all due respect, Anthony, this debate had absolutely nothing to do with Donald Trump. Donald Trump actually put on, I think, probably his best debate performance ever. He was controlled. He was measured. He had total mastery of the issues. His answer on abortion was probably the single clearest thing I have ever heard him say on the topic, and gave a little bit to everybody on that, which is what you have to do as a president. But that has nothing to do with the disaster that we saw on Thursday. What we saw on Thursday was a feeble old man who is not fit to be assistant manager at McDonald's. And I don't mean to throw any assistant managers at McDonald's under the bus, because that's a tough job. But the man should not be president. We all know it. And by the way, Piers, we've all known it even since he was sworn in. The media in the last couple of days, we are watching them rewrite the narrative in real time. Remember,
you know what, Dave? On that point, Dave, I do weekly columns for New York Post, and I went back and checked them since Biden got re-elected. And I have written, I don't know, it must be 6 or 7 columns in that period to date about Biden and how I do not believe he's physically and mentally fit for the highest office in the land. And honestly, I'm not saying
to your credit, I don't consider you part of the mainstream
media. Well, I'm not saying that to look like some sort of clever dick. I'm just saying that I was writing this, as were many other people, but there was a huge conspiracy of silence.
Thank you, fam.
From the mainstream media. And we now know, because now the gloves have come off, now the blinkers have come off, now they understand from that debate that Biden is basically, self-imploding in terms of his competence to physically and mentally do the job. And now they're saying, well, a lot of journalists have known about this for a while. That, to me, is a real abrogation of duty by the journalists.
Look, the journalists lied to the American people. They were around him. They saw it. They knew it. The only thing that changed, Piers, is that the media got their marching orders from the Democratic leadership, including Nancy Pelosi.
I keep on seeing in my chat that guy has a huge damn nose. And I promise y'all, I was about to say something about his nose, or maybe y'all talking about my nose. Nah, y'all talking about Wiener's nose. Y'all talking about Anthony Dingaling. His nose is absolutely huge, bro. It's huge. No diddy. And I was going to say something about it, but I didn't want to come off like I'm being racist, because apparently there's a group of individuals out here who are protected, who have big noses, okay? They got big noses. And when you talk about somebody's big nose, sometimes it seems like you're talking about that entire group. That's how they do. Like, if you talk about fried chicken and watermelon, you can't say nothing negative about fried chicken and watermelon, or else Al Sharpton is going to pop up out of nowhere. It's like saying Beetlejuice 3 times. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. If you talk about watermelon and fried chicken, somebody's going to pop up. Either it's going to be Al Sharpton, or it's going to be Hillary Clinton with a bottle of hot sauce that she keeps in her purse. Okay, let's get back to it.
Who went out there and threw Joe Biden under the bus yesterday. And they're like, okay, now we need you to turn on him because we're afraid we're going to lose our access to power and our radical agenda to Donald Trump. And so it was in their best interest. No one was being a journalist at the White House press briefing yesterday. I want to be clear about that. I give them zero credit even though they were actually doing what journalists should do with their questioning for the first time ever at the White House press briefing of this president about his competency. They did it.
This brother can smell what The Rock is cooking.
For selfish reasons, because the Democratic Party is afraid they're going to lose, the media is afraid they're going to lose, and so they did it in their own self-interest to contain this disaster and try to keep power. I also think this line, though, that Anthony used a minute ago, and he kind of halfway did it, so I give him a little bit of credit for this. This idea that you're going to convince the American people that Joe Biden and Donald Trump are the same and are just as senile and old is laughable. They're trying it on TV. They're trying it. I mean, well, they're both old. They're both senile. The White House press secretary yesterday, you should be asking the same cognitive questions of the other guy. Like, it's a joke. The two men are not the same.
Well, actually,
one is
I would ask,
and
Anthony,
one is not.
Well, I would go back to Anthony, because you and I've known you a long time from when I was at CNN. I've been in rooms with you and Trump, and I honestly watched him at that debate, and I saw a guy who looked and sounded and behaved exactly like the guy I've known since 2007. I mean, there's not much difference. So this idea there's been a dramatic marked slowing down of Trump or a cognitive decline or any of those things, I'm just not buying it. And nor I don't think are the people who have to vote, because I'll come back to you, Anthony, with one question, and I'll phrase it slightly differently. Not is Biden going to be the guy going forward, but in your estimation, as a Democrat, should he be?
Look, first of all, I just love a panel of 4 media people who all have said that both these guys are too old and shouldn't run, but the media is covering this up. Everyone's been talking about this stuff.
I haven't said Trump shouldn't run.
Settle down. I'm in the middle of talking.
I think Anthony's got his fishing rod out there, lads. Be careful.
Settle down.
He's fishing.
Settle down like media. Oh, the media is so...
By the way, that's a Trump technique. The Trump technique is to go, Piers, as you know, and then say something outrageous, which you don't know at all. I haven't been thinking.
Media. All right. Well, I mean, I don't know if you guys...
Go on, Anthony, go on.
We're all media people. We're all talking about this. The idea that no one's been talking about Joe Biden's age is kind of insane. Fox News is the biggest media. I don't know what's going on over there in England, but here Fox News is the biggest media organ on earth as far as we're concerned, and they're all over this every single day. So settle down with this, like, well, we didn't know. Look, both these guys are...
Well, so you're admitting Fox News has been right the entire time.
You had one person in the briefing room asking these questions, Anthony. Everyone else was like...
But let me ask Anthony, let me repeat that question I asked you, which is not whether you think Biden will be the nominee going forward, but whether he should be. As a Democrat,
neither one of these guys, I agree with the American people, neither one of these guys should be the nominee for their parties. Piers,
we're not talking
here's
about
what
Trump.
I think here's what might be a better show, is if you let me answer your question. I think that might make a better show.
If what?
So
then answer the actual question.
I have said, and the American people have said over and over again, neither one of these guys should be the nominee for the party.
I'm not asking about Trump.
That's not the question.
I know you're not asking about Trump, but I'm making an inclusive answer.
I'm going to come to Trump.
Over there.
Look, just to be clear, I will come to Trump, I promise you.
I don't want you to come to anyone. I just want to answer my question. Can I do that for a moment?
Yes. Do you think personally, as a Democrat, Biden should be the nominee going forward?
I appreciate you letting me answer the question. Good grief. I can't imagine anyone enjoys listening to this. I don't believe that either one of these guys, inclusive of Joe Biden and inclusive of Donald Trump, wants either of these two guys to be their nominees, but they are. We can engage in the kabuki theater of, well, if they weren't, would that be great?
No, you're not answering my question.
I just did.
No, you did. Because my question is very specific. Let me ask it again. Right? You're a Democrat. Given the state of the polls right now, do you think, as a Democrat, that Biden should be the nominee going forward, or should he be replaced? Never mind whether he will be, which is what you think the probability is. Do you think he should be?
I am in concurrence with the broad majority of the American people that neither one of these candidates should be the candidate.
Why can't you answer the question?
Piers, he can't. There's a reason he can't answer the question. He can't answer the question because he's a Democrat.
I'm going to get to Dave Rubin for this.
Democrat first, so he can't answer a question.
Let me get to Dave Rubin, because here's the thing. In my lengthy career as an interviewer, by the way, when people don't answer the question or answer a completely different one, it normally answers the question for you. It means they don't want to answer it. Dave Rubin, what are you taking from Anthony Weiner's response here to the question?
He can't answer the question because he's a Democrat operative more than a journalist or whatever he's purporting to be in that little box. So he knows that the president has dementia or some other seriously significant cognitive decline. We all know it. We've known it for years. It finally has burst forth because after Thursday night, nobody can deny it, which is why everyone on CNN and Washington Post and New York Times and everything else is freaking out. But the problem that Anthony Weiner and many, I would say, ballpark sane Democrats have, and there's not many of them left because the far left has completely demolished the party. The problem that they're having is they know they've got a guy with dementia who should not be in office, and Kamala is probably worse.
Both parties have that same problem, my dude.
You are going to have to do trickery beyond imagination.
If you look at the polls, the same number of Republicans are. Why is it? Do you think that Nikki Haley gets 30% when she hasn't been on the ballot in 4 months? Why do you think that is?
Hey, let me say this. I'm happy to talk about Donald Trump. You may learn something here. You may learn something. Republicans are happy and chose out of a lot of people running for president our candidate. Stop saying we don't like Donald Trump when we love Donald Trump and he's up in every swing state in America. Why would we not want a guy that's up in every swing state in America? You're insane. You don't know what you're talking about.
If you are unfamiliar with the polls that show that Americans are not happy with the choices they have, then I can't help you with that.
That's not what the poll says. That is not what the poll says.
Let me try to ask a question on Piers Morgan's show.
This is
Piers, can I try to be the host here?
Yeah, let me go to Dave Rubin. Dave Rubin.
If y'all wondering why I'm not stopping the videos, because it's good. It's getting gooder and gooder, as my pastor used to say. It's this word getting gooder and gooder. Nah, but Weiner's nose Weiner. Bruh, I hope that microphone in front of him has been wiped down with some type of Clorox wipe or something like that, because with a nose like that and he's constantly smelling what's going on from that microphone. Last couple of times he had a conversation with somebody or a group call or a Zoom call or something like that, bruh, his nostrils are literally sitting on top of the microphone while he's talking, bro. His nostrils are in David Rubin's camera. Like they're on David Rubin's side. See, that's also why I didn't interrupt them, because what I have to add is not very substantive. So let's get back to this.
Anthony, let's try it this way. Yes. I'll take over the host reigns for a sec. Piers, if you want to get a coffee.
I'll be my guest.
Yeah.
Anthony, who is more competent, Donald Trump or Joe Biden?
Well, we've Joe Biden easily. We look. He's done better. Your guy's the only president in proven that's lost jobs. Your guy screwed up. Look, the American people have already ruled on this, right? They've already ruled on this. They chose Joe Biden easily. Your guy lost net jobs. The economy
that was
is
4 years ago. Joe Biden can't complete a full sentence. End of quote.
Can I tell you this whole idea of asking me a question, then I'll listen to the answer? I can't imagine it's helpful. All I'm saying, if you frame the question like that, Democrats win. I hope you phrase the question like that. Who are you better off under? Then you're doing much better. Right now, they're focusing on the competency of Joe Biden. As a tactical matter, I want to focus on what I think the American people are going to focus on.
Anthony, let me ask you a question. Are you a betting man?
Too early for me to drink.
Anthony,
right?
are you a betting man?
Yeah.
Anthony,
I'm only a betting man to know that conservatives are going to get their ass kicked in your country, and they're going to get their ass kicked here too.
Well, they're certainly going to get them kicked here. That is without any doubt. But let me ask you: if you were a betting man occasionally, would you accept, say, a $10,000 bet to a charity of your choice that Joe Biden is not the nominee in 2 calendar months?
I still believe, we're returning to the same question. It's very difficult for him not to be, for a lot of reasons.
Yeah, but I'm challenging that view. Honestly, I'm surprised. When you say it's 95% certain that Biden is going to be the nominee,
about what I would say.
I just think when the mainstream media, which skews heavily liberal, when they turn on a Democrat president, as they've turned on him, it looks to me like the dominoes are all just falling now, hour by hour, day by day.
Well, let me say something that I think all 4 of us will agree upon. We people who talk about stuff for a living, we love this stuff. This is great. This is a slow summer, and we're having a ball with it. Who's in? Who's out? We have it all the time. We like it. And by the way, This is a reference you won't understand, Piers, but my friends will. This is the backup quarterback scenario.
I know what that means. How dare you? My knowledge of NFL is better than yours.
The president of the United States of America is not a backup quarterback.
Hold on.
Wow.
I'm taking a run at you. I was taking a run at you. This is the backup quarterback.
No.
Can I just have a thought, one complete thought?
Yeah, don't speak over each other because we can't really hear you when you do. Anthony, finish your point.
I will. So you say, well, everyone's talking about it. I'm trying to tell you from my knowledge of the system and the fact that it comes down to a grand total of one human being who has to say, the guy that beat him last time, who's only trailing by a couple of points despite all the maelstrom, I'm going to drop out and then turn the reins over to someone else. It doesn't practically happen. If it did, I think it's a 5% chance that it happens. But this is mostly us talking to each other about this stuff and people gossiping about it.
Come on, Anthony. Anthony, when my former employers at CNN turned in the way they've turned since, by the way, the second that debate was over, John King, within seconds of that debate ending, lacerated Biden in a way I have never seen him go after any Democrat politician.
Piers, they're going to get back in line. Let me just say this quickly. This is a full-fledged effort by the media to get him out. It'll last about 7 more days max. And if he's not gone then, they're going to get back in line and they're going to protect him because they have to. That's how the media works. This is not authentic. This is take a run at him, see if you can get him out quickly. If you can't get him out, the media will, again, lose all of this anger about they were lied to and questioning the cognitive decline and asking if he's had a test or a brain scan. And they'll go right back in line to Joe Biden's the best thing since sliced bread, because if they know they're stuck with him, they're going to stick with him.
You know what, Ben?
Well, can I just respond to that point?
You can. Yeah, go on.
Let me just suggest that. And this comes up. I was inside for 25 years. Now I talk on the radio. We presume that there are these conspiracies when they're usually just coincidences. I don't believe that there is a great master plan to do anything. I don't think we're sophisticated enough to have a master plan. The bottom line of this thing is that
I think Democrats are calculated.
I'm going to tell you there are a lot of
credit.
I understand. It is so important part of the narrative of the modern day Republican Party that there are conspiracies going on. I'm telling you from my experience
I'm giving you credit.
Let me just finish my thought.
I'm giving you credit,
finish my thought,
brother. Understand what I'm giving you?
Finish.
I'm not kidding. Hold on. But I'm giving you legit credit. Democrats know how to do this. You guys are damn good at it. You know how to go when you need to go and when you need to protect. You're good at it. Take credit for that. There is nothing that's happening right now that's organic. This is genuinely a full court press from Nancy Pelosi to every major member of the media to get rid of Joe Biden.
I agree.
You should see
that could well be the case. If you let me finish my thought, that could well be the case. There may be many, many people who in their heart of hearts want to get rid of Joe Biden. But there are practical reasons, everything from how the money flows to we don't have an obvious next choice to the polling for everyone else is not that great. I get people may not. I can tell my phone was blowing up with people like saying, what the hell during that debate? I'm not disputing that. If we're going to have a conversation like adults about what we think is actually going to happen, I, as someone who is supposedly the inside of all of this, can tell you that there are a lot of reasons why it will be Joe Biden. That's all I'm saying.
I honestly, I think I do think your response is very interesting. And you were on the inside. And by the way, you're not entirely wrong. And Dave, I'll come to you on this because the rules stipulate that all the money that Joe Biden has raised so far for this election campaign can only go to his vice president. It cannot go to anybody else. So Kamala Harris is in immediately by far the best position because all that money can only go to her.
She's the 5%.
Right. Well, the Democrats made a deal with the devil, and here we are. Let's not forget, whatever deal they cut during primary season last time around, when right before Super Tuesday, everybody from Mayor Pete to Elizabeth Warren to Andrew Yang, et cetera, dropped out. Everyone except Tulsi Gabbard, who ironically is the most moderate Dem because she's not even a Dem anymore. And had Biden chose her as VP, I think there'd be an awful lot of Democrats going, I can vote for a Democrat because I'll have Tulsi Gabbard. I might vote for a Democrat at that point if it was Tulsi Gabbard. I hope Trump picks her, but that's a different thing altogether. But what we're seeing now in relation to your question, is that they are stuck between a man with dementia and a woman who in effect has dementia. Her thoughts are basically the same thing, right? The circular logic and the rest of the nonsense. So everyone knows that if you were to push out Joe Biden, you end up with someone that is potentially worse. I would also say, I would agree with Ben in that what we're largely watching right now is the media just figure out how to spin the lies in real time. So I think what happened on Thursday night was everyone saw a corpse up there, a man who could not complete a thought, and every single sentence he said, all you were waiting for was him to be able to be unable to finish it, right? So because it was so bad, they all actually told us the truth Thursday night, and now they're spinning a new narrative. Now he was on cough medicine, or he wasn't feeling well, or he didn't sleep enough, even though he didn't work for 6 days prior. And I think the more that we can just sort of peel back that layer and see what the truth is, then we'll be able to make some positive decisions.
Let me come back to Anthony. Anthony, let me come back to you.
Can I respond to that, Piers?
Yes,
let me just, first of all, what happened in 2020, Democrats chose the moderate on that stage, who then went on to beat Donald Trump. We did that part right. Now we've got an incumbent.
But he hasn't governed as a moderate. He was a puppet.
Can I
please?
First of all, he has. I can't think of a single thing the squad has gotten done in the last 4 years. But let me just finish my thought. Can I please finish my thought? You might find it interesting. So now we're in a situation where we have an incumbent who's shown one thing that's super important to Democrats. He can beat Donald Trump. So people are suggesting, well, let's throw out incumbency. Let's throw out the known quantity. Let's go for unknown quantities who aren't polling so well either. I'm just saying, for practical reasons, this isn't the media protecting or not protecting. There are I don't understand this. This propensity to talk over me is really not helpful. All I can say is that the notion that there's layers and media this and media that, there are practical four corner reasons why he's going to be on the ballot, and we can come back here in October and confirm that.
Let me say this. Piers. I actually think Joe Biden is going to be the nominee, but it's not for any of the reasons that were mentioned. I think Joe Biden has dug in here, and Joe Biden has dug in, and Hunter Biden, for example, is now in top meetings at the White House, and I think this is about survival. I also think this is just about the Biden family. Joe Biden desperately needs to stay in the White House as long as possible until his son's legal issues clear up so he can either pardon him or give him clemency. I actually think this is about the family now more than anything. They're not making decisions based on logic of what's best for the party, what's best for the Democratic future, or their ideas. If it was about that, they would hand the reins over to Kamala Harris. But they're sitting there, and he's got to protect his son from going to prison.
But I think,
he's going to be selfish.
Here's the problem.
He's not going anywhere.
Hang on. Here's the problem.
Based on the fact that everything he's doing right now.
Here's the problem. Is that literally within the 3 or 4 days we've had since the debate, he's going to places, reading autocue, where he is reading stuff off the prompter, which is there as a note to him about reading back quotes or whatever. This is a guy who's become a literal walking puppet.
And so I'm very comforted that the man with dementia has a top advisor who's a crack addict.
Right, I think the whole idea of Hunter Biden being anywhere near this.
He's not a literal anything. Learn the language. Right. But you're going to give you beefy about reading off a teleprompter? I saw Donald Trump complaining about the lousy teleprompters at 90 rallies where
you're missing my point. You're missing my point. My point is every day that Joe Biden. Hang on, let me make my point. Every day Joe Biden now stays in office and doesn't give up, the focus from the media collectively is going to be utterly ferocious on every slip up, every mistake, whatever. Trump's not even going to get any airtime, right?
For 7 more days.
And that's why I say with absolute certainty that I would be absolutely staggered if by the time we get to the convention, Joe Biden has not resigned. I'd be staggered.
All right, yeah, that's congratulations. You're doing the convention of wisdom. That's what I come on the show for.
Dave Rubin, who would you fear most on the Democrat side of all?
Before they continue, and I'm just letting y'all know the conversation is almost over, and we're about to go over to Hello River. This is Liberty Bell Reacts, everyone. What do you? I can't hear you. Oh, dang it! I can't hear you, Liberty Bell. But I will say what can be unburdened by what has been.
All of them, all the names that have been put out there.
Well, I think Newsom is the devil incarnate and possibly a lizard person, so I would fear him at an existential level for the country. But I do think, if we could give credit to Ron DeSantis for 1 second, in that debate that they had a couple months ago, he completely demolished him and really exposed him for the fraud that he is. But if the average American wants the entire country to turn into communist California, we could be in a lot of trouble. I don't know what they're going to... Look, I will say that the one thing that Anthony has made sense of, he said a lot of things here, is that the machinery right now is set up for Biden to continue. Clearly, he should not continue if you care about America. You know, when Anthony earlier said that we're all happy about this because we're pundits and we get to talk about it, no, I would much prefer that we had a moderate Democrat that we were sold. And even if I disagreed with him on some policies, the country was in a better spot. We are quite literally in the most dangerous spot this country has been in probably since the Cuban Missile Crisis. If you're China, why wouldn't you take Taiwan right now? If you're Iran, why wouldn't you say to Hezbollah, destroy Israel? Because no one in America will believe that the president is the one making the proper responses. Yeah. So we are at an unbelievably tenuous position right now. As far as who will take over for the Dems, I mean, I don't know how is it? I mean, this is the mechanism of the party, but the Democrat Party is evil. What will they do to get rid of the black female vice president? The DEI people booting Kamala Harris to bring in the rich white guy. You gotta love it. I mean, that's a great soap opera.
Okay, listen, we're going to talk about this a lot more. I'd love to have you all back. It's been a great debate. Thank you very much. And Anthony, great to see you with your cocky old swagger back, because I was getting worried about you. You were quite reserved last time I interviewed you, but we've got the old wiener back.
By the way, I point out I came on in 3 minutes notice.
I know you did. And you've been terrific. You've got the swagger back. I love it.
I enjoyed it, gentlemen.
I enjoyed it as well. We're going to do the Steve Bannon conversation next. Hey, River, Liberty Bell react here, guys. I can hear you good.
Can you hear me yet? Okay,
I can hear you perfectly.
Great.
I can hear you perfectly. What did you get from this conversation? Did you hear it all?
I did not hear it all, but I agreed with the standpoint that the media is only going to go against Biden for so long, and then they'll fall back in line.
They'll fall back in line.
Yes.
Yeah.
But after the debate, though, it's over for him. If he doesn't step down, for sure, there's no way he can win, because elections are decided by the people in the middle, and nobody in the middle, after watching that clearly dementia-ridden performance, is going to vote for him.
He had a cold. It was a cold.
I didn't know colds gave people dementia. I didn't realize that was a side effect.
Well, now you know.
See that? It was just a cold. The only thing he needed was some Robitussin, some ginger ale, a little bit of Vicks Vapor Rub underneath his nose, or rubbed on his chest, or he needed an onion in his sock. I heard that works. But all I got to say to anybody out there, if you don't know how to approach the polls, when it's time for you to vote between Trump and Biden, just remember this one thing. What can be unburdened by what has been. All right? Just remember that. What can be unburdened by what has been, it solves so many problems. Now, when you ask what has Kamala, let me ask you this. Brandon, and shout out to Thetazord. This is Thetazord YouTube channel. Go check him out. And this is
check it out.
And Liberty Bell reacts. What has Kamala done for the country? Can y'all just tell me a couple of things, and being honest, can you think of something deep? Okay.
Yes, I can. She's made a complete ass of herself. That's what she's done. Sorry, but she has.
I'd say she has served up some legendary word salads, the type of which the country has never seen. She is a master chef. When it comes to word salad,
she's a silent partner of Chopped. I don't know if y'all ever had a chopped salad before, but it's a. Do y'all have a chopped salad where you're from? It's like you go there and you tell them they got everything that can go inside of a salad. And you just pick it out and they just put it all inside of a salad. That's what Kamala does. But I really, what has she done for the country? Has she done anything significant? Has she fixed any type of partnerships or relationships between our country and other world leaders? Have she written anything? What has she done? Why is she next up? Because her numbers are looking better than Joe Biden's in the eyes of Democrats if she were to run against Trump versus him running against Trump. So I just want to know, what has she done that make people believe that she can do the job of a president?
Well, I remember her historic trip to the border. It was incredible.
Okay.
All everything. Like when she went to Maine, I was all for that.
Okay.
That's a joke because she didn't go to the southern border. She went to the northern border. She did. She did, but first, her first trip was to the northern border.
To the northern border, okay.
Right, yeah. She avoided the southern border like the plague, even though that's what she was supposed to be in charge of. She wouldn't go anywhere near that.
Now, is it unfair to ask what a VP has done for the country? Because aren't VPs usually like silent partners? They just hang in the background. They go and do this task and meet this person and shake this hand and have this meeting. But do they really do anything?
Not that I know of.
Well, sometimes they do. Like sometimes the president will task the vice president with something specific. Like I'm trying to remember what Trump put Pence in charge of. What I think it had something to do with COVID, perhaps. But sometimes they give them special tasks.
When Obama was president, didn't Joe Biden have tasks?
I don't remember any vice president ever having any significant tasks that made any difference.
So what's the damn point? Like, okay, it's like if the president was to just keel over, and we're already looking at Joe Biden, who is extremely destitute at this moment. If he was just to, God forbid, and Kamala became the president, what Trump said about her would be correct. Like, it would be ridiculous. The other world leaders will have a field day on Kamala.
Yeah, she's a fool for sure.
Yeah, what an embarrassment, what a disgrace. But that's what happens when you climb to the top on your back.
Ooh.
That's a good way to put it, yeah.
Oh, so you're saying Kamala climbed to the top on her back? What make you say that?
Oh, well, like her nicknames like Heels Up Harris and Headboard Harris. And I think what is his name? Willie Brown. The married man that she slept with in order to get ahead.
So wait a minute.
I think she was in her 20s. He was in his 60s. But that was her first real noticeable time of getting ahead by doing some.
Are you really saying that they called her headboard Harris and heels up Harris? Somebody said knee pad Kamala. Camel toe Kamala. Oh, wait a minute! I shouldn't have said that.
Camel toe Kamala.
What the crap? No, I did not know that. How was I supposed to know that? How was I supposed to know this mess, man? Jeez, Louise! They called her daggone knee pad and heels up Harris. And what in the headboard Harris and what in the?
Oh man.
No, that's not good. That's our VP, bro. That's next in line. Kamala Ho. What the world? Okay, that's a shot at her native heritage. That's her native heritage. I can't call her Kamala Ho. Like, that seems like I'm taking a shot at the Indians. I don't even know if we're supposed to say Indians. My gracious.
But
Kamala Harris. Go ahead.
But that's kind of been like the cycle with every vice president. They don't really do, like, they're just kind of there to like encourage and support and kind of be the offset to the actual president. They don't actually do anything of significance. I mean, they're just kind of there.
I don't agree with that. I mean, it's the second most powerful position in the world. Of course, they have duties. We might not be as familiar with them, but it's not a job where you just kick back, relax, and do nothing. But Willie Brown was the mayor
but
of San
there's nothing that we
Francisco.
know of.
All right, so how come?
Okay, it was the Corona task force, and dude, we could really just do like a basic Google search. I mean, I know that they do a lot of foreign travel. Essentially, one of their biggest responsibilities, though, even if it may not be official, is to be a good spokesperson for the president.
Okay,
That's true.
Let me see. I'm Googling it right now. What does Kamala Harris do? Exactly.
What does she actually do?
What does she actually do? Because this is
Like
it's
in
embarrassing. It's embarrassing that is not common knowledge. Like, what is her role? What is
what did you say that you do here?
She gets class. Well, there's the things that you're supposed to do, and then there's the things that they actually do. I know she gets the classified daily briefings. I think her job is to try to stay away from the president so that they're not together at the same place at the same time a whole bunch, to avoid, something were to happen to one, some sort of attack or something, that like both of them aren't ended at the same time. But yeah, like she gets a lot of the same exact information that he does, but anything that he's given her, like, oh, she's in charge of the border, she's done nothing. I think she just goes around speaking at colleges and.
But when she speaks, she goes around and says the same damn thing. What has been not been unburdened. What has been unburdened can be. God dang it! I forgot. I'm messing it up. I'm trying to figure out what she does. I'm Googling it. It don't say.
Yeah.
It don't say. Yeah. It literally don't say.
It probably won't. Yeah.
It says she always fight for the people. What the heck type of? I need to know what she does, bro. Like, what does she do? Like, is she the Olivia Pope of the White House right now? What does she do?
Couldn't tell you.
That is unfortunate. I remember VP Biden and Pence. Did not remember VP Harris. What's going on, Big Blue? Reacts. Shout out to you, brother, and thank you so much for the super chat. All right, so basically, she does nothing. She's supposed to have duties. Nobody knows what her duties are, but what we do know is what will be.
Yeah.
Unburdened.
She has that line down.
By what has been. Huh? Y'all know what that's about. Huh? Y'all know that what has been unburdened by what has been. And it will be unburdened until it has been. Until it be, and it will be burdened again. Okay?
Until it's not, and then it will be unburdened once
and then
again.
It will be burdened all over again. And also, and I seen that she actually went from making like 300,000 to like 17 million in the course of her being VP. Whereas you have Trump, who didn't even take a damn salary, and he was running an entire country and there was no wars or anything. So it's so many things that go on. I do realize he has the highest, I don't get it. I'm sorry. I'm confused as hell. Could y'all please do me a favor and tell me what she does for a living? Ken B, thank you so much for the super chat. He says, Van, she has the tie-breaking vote in the Senate, and it's only important since it's so close. So basically, she can break some ties in voting, and she takes over in the uneventful demise of the highest office in the land. God dang it. All right, so Mayor Marion Barry. Guys, I just want to say to you all, thank you so much for pulling up. Thank you for being a part of the chat today. Y'all are absolutely amazing. Y'all are dope. The poll that I asked was, will they cheat Trump again? In the polls, 94% of you said yes. Wow. That is unfortunate. And it got 1,397 votes. That is highly unfortunate. Shout out to Montel Williams for creating this disaster that we don't even know what she does for a living, but we do know that she was the black lady that Joe Biden selected so that he can win. It worked, and now we don't even know what to tell you what she does for the country at all. She's just waiting to do something for the country, and I don't even know if she's capable of doing it, but it is what it is. You guys picked her. Not you guys. I'm sorry. I picked her too. I voted for her.
What?
I didn't vote for her. I voted for Biden. You didn't know I voted for Biden?
No,
Yes.
hold on.
Yeah.
Hold-
Yeah. I know.
No, how could you? Oh
Listen,
my God. I didn't know.
I apologize to my I apologize to my channel all the time. I voted for everything blue, man. That's what I did. I apologize. I voted for everything blue. If it's blue on the ticket, I voted for it. And that's changing now, Jack. I know some people are trying to take back their super chats now. You can't.
Take it back.
Too late, Cease. No take back, Cease. Sorry. Listen, don't van what me. Go back and look at my other live streams. I have apologized. I'm not apologizing anymore. I'm not running for office, god dang it. I was blue. I was blue no matter who for a long time, Surf Doggy 24. I was blue no matter who. Listen, B, no refunds. Don't listen. I'm about to end this chat. They talking about refunds. I'm about to no money back. Listen, no money back. I love y'all like play cousins. All of my all of my mods, thank you guys for helping out so much. Y'all are absolutely phenomenal. Catalia, I see all the work that you're doing. Lisa Marie, I see all the work. B, thank you so much for grinding. Suzanne and Angel, thank you so much. It looks like I need some guys representing my mods as well, because I'm looking kind of sexist now, having nothing but women as my mods. But and Mike DeSalvo, how the hell you become a mod, bro? I don't even know you. Who made you a mod? Who is Mike DeSalvo? Seriously, I'm not playing. Who's Mike DeSalvo?
I'll tell you one thing though, Lisa Marie's always on top of it, man. Like she's in there when I am in your chat room. She's on top of everything, man.
Lisa Marie is the GOAT. Lisa Marie is the GOAT. She's always on top of it. Yeah. Lisa and Angel, they pull up no matter what. Angel Trigger. Let me tell y'all something about Angel. Angel is probably the smallest white woman I know, but she got more guns than anybody I know. So don't mess around with her. Let me tell you something. She ready. She got that 2A on that daggone door. Cause step across this door frame if you want. It's going down, son. Hey, thank you so much for the super chat, boy. I can't say your last name. My bad. Charge that to my mind, not my heart. But we are out. We got a group called to start. People are late as hell. They on colored people time. It's all good. They probably had too much time, too much fun yesterday for Independence Day. But for everyone who participated in the chats, especially my mods, thank you so much. And for all of the people who went above and beyond and submitted a super chat, I really appreciate that as well. Thank you so much. And for everyone who shared this on Facebook, LinkedIn, Reddit, and X, thank you so much, guys. Y'all are absolutely phenomenal. I really appreciate it. We are out. Don't submit any more super chats because you're stopping me from leaving. All right. Love y'all. I'll see y'all on the next live stream. We have Liberty Bell Reacts. We got Theta Zord.
God bless.
And SCO 971. Thank you so much.
And vice presidents also do international travel on behalf of the president.
Okay, so there you go. There you go. So
they do have jobs.
So she does the international meetings that he can't make. Okay, so he got to meet over here. Go ahead over there and represent me as the president. You represent America as I do. Hunter Biden does that for Joe as well. So Kamala pretty much has the same job as Hunter. So she can go ahead and relax and smoke some crack herself if she wants to.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Because you'll remember Biden bragging about him being in Ukraine. He said, you're not getting the $1 billion if you don't fire the prosecutor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So they definitely go and do that.
Okay, so they go on will and deal.
Yes.
They go will and deal for the country. They're like, look,
and steal.
Will and steal. Okay, they go will and steal. But thank you guys so much. We reached 1,500 people on the live stream today. That was absolutely phenomenal. See y'all on the next one. Love y'all and happy 4th to everybody.